Waterworld is my personal favorite water park in the United States. Located near Denver, Colorado, this park is one of the deepest slide lineups in the world. This includes one of the best water coasters out there and multiple slides with extensive dark ride scenes. On top of that, this park uses the terrain better than most water parks and is very well run. In this review, I will explain why this water park needs to be on your bucket list. Waterworld opened back in 1979 as one of the oldest water parks in the United States. This park is located 10 miles north of Denver, Colorado. Most visitors will drive, finding a large free parking lot, but you can also access this park via public transit. There are multiple buses that'll drop you off on Pico Street, just a few minutes from the park entrance. Admission costs roughly $30 to $50 per person, depending on the day. These lower rates can be found if you buy your tickets in advance, particularly on weekdays early in the season. I think this park is well worth the price for reasons I'm about to get into. One other fee you may encounter is for a locker. This costs $16 to $21 per day depending on the size. Once inside, you will find one of the larger water parks in the USA. It spans roughly 70 acres with 7 different sections. None of those sections are extensively themed, but the whole park is clean and well presented. Many of the newer slides feature vibrant paint schemes. Then I love how many slides utilize the terrain. Several of the older ones are surrounded by trees, giving huge chunks of this park a natural feel. It also means many slides do not have the traditional slide towers you'll find at other water parks. Most slides are accessed via inclined ramps. This is a lot more digestible for guests to navigate. This hilly terrain is a blessing and a curse, though. It makes it a bit more cumbersome to go from area to area. It can be particularly tricky to spot where a few water slides begin. Fortunately, there are some mitigations that'll help. First, this park offers a sky ride. This transports you from the upper section by the entrance to the lower section in the back known as Alpine Springs. Second, many slides allow guests to wear water shoes, and the ones that do not have racks for you to store them. This makes it less strenuous on your feet. Third, staff members can point you in the right direction. The staff here is super helpful. On that note, Waterworld has extremely friendly employees. It is quite common for attendants and lifeguards to strike up conversations, particularly around your favorite attractions at the park. Those same employees are also efficient as well. Staff members waste no time loading attractions. On the older slides, staff members will send tubes as quickly as guests can load themselves. Then the newer slides are a bit more sophisticated, but they'll still have the next riders ready to go the moment they receive a green light. This is critical because this water park draws high crowds. The park is open from just Memorial Day until Labor Day, yet it draws roughly 500,000 guests per year. Knowing this, both my visits have deliberately taken place on weekdays. Still, there have been some lengthy queues. The Mile High Flyer water coasters had posted 60 to 90 minute waits. Then Voyage to the Center of the Earth has reached 60-minute waits as well, and only a fraction of the queues for these rides were filled, so I imagine the waits are even worse on weekends. The 2 Bull slides and Roaring Forks water coaster have also had sizable queues extending down a majority of the slide towers. Fortunately, this park has plenty of capacity. That is why you'll see some repeat attraction genres. I already mentioned the 2 water coasters, but this park also has a plethora of family raft slides and 2 wave pools. Many of the supporting rides have been near walk-ons for me. This makes it possible to do a lot if you have a smart touring plan for the headlining attractions. How should you tour this park? My number 1 tip is to purchase early entry. This perk is included with the highest tier season passes, select birthday packages, and select cabana packages. You can also purchase a day of at the ticket booths. This costs $10 per person as of 2025, and it is well worth it. This gives you a major head start on crowds. As of this recording, the park opened several water slides in the Alpine Springs section 30 to 45 minutes early. Most slides down there will be walk-ons during early entry, but there's one exception. Mile High Flyer will quickly develop a wait. I have seen the standby queue hit an hour during early entry, so if you want to ride this as a group, Arrive for the start of early entry in your bathing suits and head there immediately. Alternatively, Mile High Flyer has a single rider line. This is the only attraction in the park offering this service. Midday, this tends to take 15 to 20 minutes from experience. But during early entry, the single rider line is usually a walk-on. This is the best time to marathon this highly popular attraction. Once the park officially opens, I recommend hitting the slides in Wild Isle. Start with Revolution, because that slide can generate a very long wait. It is then wise to hit Zoomerang as well afterwards because it's right there. The slides in River Country have had barely any queues for me, so I recommend bypassing this for now to head to West Coast Adventure. Try to ride the family raft slides there before they build up lengthy queues in the afternoon. Voyage to the Center of the Earth is the one to prioritize first. If you do not have early entry, do not head for Mile High Flyer first. It will already have a long queue. I instead recommend starting with those family raft slides in West Coast Adventure. Then hit Wild Isle. You then will probably need to use that single rider line for Mile High Flyer if you want to avoid a long wait. Another time saver is the park's Tube Valet Skip the Line system. This is operated much differently than other parks. Each Tube Valet wristband is valid for 4 guests. This makes the cost per person much more affordable than the Skip the Line services at other water parks. As of this recording, Tube Valet costs $90. You get 1 ride per group on Mile High Flyer and Revolution. Then, you can skip the queue for the family raft slides multiple times. Further, you do not have to carry the heavy rafts on those family raft slides. Tube Valet guests walk up the hill, while an employee drives their tube atop the hill for them. If you are not able to ride for opening, consider Tube Valet. Otherwise, it can be very tricky to do all the signature rides in one day. Keep in mind, Tube Valet is limited, so it can sell out in advance. Fortunately, the park will release a few additional ones the day of at noon that can be purchased at select locations inside the park. Now let's run through the attraction lineup. As I noted at the start, this is incredibly deep. This park has most major slide genres, and several are at the top of their class. I will start with the water coasters. Mile High Flyer is a pro slide hydromagnetic rocket. This slides a few steep drops with excellent airtime, some of the best negative Gs you can experience on a water slide. Then the LIM powered ascents are swift, allowing this slide to maintain good pace start to finish. And I have a full review available if you want more in-depth thoughts on this attraction. Roaring Forks is the newer water coaster. This one offers a distinctly different experience. For one, this is a racing slide, so you have 2 sides side by side for that competitive aspect. 2, this is a rocket blast design. This uses high-powered water jets to propel riders uphill. This is not as fast, so the drops are not as intense, but those jets result in a way more soaking experience. Atop each hill, you have a cascade of water that lands atop you. This can be a bit unpleasant here though, since the water in this slide is ice cold. The water on the other slides of this park is fine, so I'm not sure what happened here. I will also note this slide can only be experienced in groups of 2. Then this park is the deepest collection of family raft slides I have ever seen. All of them need at least 2 riders, so come to this park in a group or be prepared to make friends. Most feel like they are built in-house, as you ride in these concrete troughs that offer a bumpier experience. And I mean that as a compliment since it adds a bit more character. The star is Voyage to the Center of the Earth. This is an entirely enclosed, 5-minute long adventure, complete with over a dozen dinosaur animatronics. This is the best themed water slide I have ever seen. The caves are super atmospheric, and those dinosaurs look great, particularly the T-Rex towards the end. Then there are multiple slide sections between those show scenes. This includes a peppy helix towards the start, and a sneaky good drop at the end. I am stunned that Disney nor Universal have tried to build a slide like this. Lost River of the Pharaohs is a similar type of slide. This one is a downhill outdoor course at the start and end. This part is solid. Then the middle section is an Egyptian-themed dark ride sequence. This has some impressive statues, including a few with a few hidden sprayers that'll soak you. River Country is 3 terrain-based family raft slides. All of these slides are delightfully bumpy. sort of feeling like an out of control River Rapids experience. There are quite a few turns that'll really push you up the walls. Raging Colorado is solid, but the tamest of the three. Thunder River and Cimarron River are absolutely chaotic. You are wildly thrown about in these slides. Then there are two modern raft slides from ProSlide. These are smoother than the prior raft slides because they use more traditional fiberglass troughs. Storm is very dark with the occasional lighting effect. The course has a few quick dips and decent turns. Revolution is a behemoth bowl. This one is a large drop at the start with a small pop of airtime. Then you spiral around that gigantic toilet bowl. This part is not too thrilling, but the visual is always surreal. Moving on to the tube slides, I will start with the park's second bowl slide, Centennial Basin. This has the same layout as Revolution, but the drop is not as steep. Revolution is the better slide, but it does tend to have a longer wait, so this is a nice alternative if necessary. Now interestingly, this park used to have two additional bowl slides, Prank Tank and Space Bowl. These were far more extreme, as they would flush guests into a deep pool. This meant you needed to be a strong swimmer. This was removed for the Tower Centennial Basin a few years ago. Continuing with the tube slides, a majority of them are found in river country. Eagle River, Gunnison River, Purgatory River, and Rio Grande River offer a relatively gentle descent, but the wide trough makes it possible for your tube to rotate sideways or backwards, and if you want, you can start going down these slides backwards as well. Warp Speed is a duo of enclosed slides. These ones were retrofit with some fun lighting effects. The right side is an abrupt turn start to finish. The left side is a large spiral, followed by a wild turn, so I think this slide is a bit more intense. Foothill Falls is a racing triple down. You can get a hint of air in the second dip and great speed in the third drop. Just make sure to hold on tight, otherwise you could be launched off the raft in the splashdown like I was on my POV. Zoomerang is a half-pipe style slide. You can choose to experience this one forwards or backwards. This one starts with an ultra steep and sizable drop. If you take it backwards, it offers a terrifying freefall sensation. Then you rock back and forth, getting a little weightlessness. The new for 2026 Summit Canyon area will include two additional tube slides from ProSlide. Marmot Mayhem will have some tight constrictor turns. Then Runoff Rapids should offer a rowdy experience with some funnel and half-pipe sections. Summit Canyon will also offer two intense body slides. Columbine Cascade and Aspen Falls will have speedy, windy courses. The latter will be extra thrilling because it will begin with a trapdoor. It is always suspenseful waiting for the floor to fall out to initiate the experience in these types of slides. Right now, the park's only major body slides are Peaks. These are a trio of towering speed slides. With a nice push, you can lift off the slide a bit. That makes the fast plunge extra thrilling, and it is worth noting the three lanes are all smooth, which is not always the case with this type of slide. Then this park has two racing mat slides. Glacier Run is the better of the two. This one is open, so the competitive aspect is easier to appreciate. They can get a little bit of lift on the second hump. Sunset Racer is a helix followed by a drop. This is fine, but a clone of this can be found at other parks, so it's not a must if you visited other water parks. Then kids will find plenty of smaller slides designed exclusively for them. These are scattered about the park, and there'll be a half dozen new ones opening with that aforementioned Summit Canyon. Additionally, the park has multiple splash pads for the younger guests. Rounding out the attraction lineup are two wave pools and a decent lazy river circling around Wild Isle. These are nice options if you want to relax. Then there's also the Wave Flow Rider. This is great if you want to try your hand at surfing, especially because it's actually included with admission. Many parks make this an upcharge. One con with this park though is that it's fully developed. This means new additions often necessitate the removal of older attractions. For example, Summit Canyon replaced Calypso Cove. I was able to experience the old area my first visit in 2025, and it had two truly wild slides. Scream and Mimi had guests sit in a bobsled that shot them over the water. The large drop was a rush, as was the sensation skimming across the water. Pirate's Plunge was a trio of speed slides. The center one was particularly intense. It went straight down. With a strong push, you could get some scary airtime the whole way down. Then you'd be shot into the pool like a cannon. I will miss both these slides, but the new expansion looks quite nice. How much time will you need? You absolutely want a full day at this water park. The quantity and quality of the slides will keep you busy open and close, especially if you encounter a few sizable waits for the signature slides. For that reason, I have always chosen to eat before and after my visits. That way, I can use the park's full hours for the water slides. But they do have multiple food stands scattered about the park if you're looking for a lunch or a snack. Do I recommend Waterworld? If it wasn't already obvious by my glowing intro, yes I do. This is a spectacular, one-of-a-kind water park. The slide lineup is special. You have some of the best themed water slides in the world, multiple water coasters, and a bevy of supporting attractions, many of which utilize this park's hilly terrain. Then this park has a great atmosphere between the presentation and the friendly employees. This is currently my favorite water park in the United States. The only water park I prefer internationally right now is Atlantis Aquaventure in Dubai. Waterworld needs to be on any water park enthusiast bucket list. Further, I think this is a must for anyone living in or visiting Denver. That is true even if you're just a casual water park fan. This place is the cream of the crop for the genre. And if you're in the area for a theme park tour, know that this water park far exceeds the state's amusement parks. Those are my thoughts on Waterworld. What are your thoughts on this water park? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you consider subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.